For assignment 4.8D, the question is, why is text complexity important? So assessing text complexity is important, especially for elementary teachers and special education teachers, which is what I'm going to be, because it helps make sure that we as teachers are making sure that students are reading things that are going to help them grow. And the reasons that I chose are that it matches students with the appropriate text. So teachers can select books or passages that are not too easy, but also not too difficult, so that students don't get frustrated, but they also don't get bored with what they're reading. The second point that I thought was important was that it aligns with our standards. So one of the important parts about our standards are that students are supposed to progress in their comprehension and able to consistently read things and understand things that have increasingly difficult features. So, like, they need to be reading things that eventually have more complicated plot lines. If it's an informational text, they need to be reading things that have maybe talk about more than one way or more than one structure. Like maybe it has one paragraph that talks about cause and effect, and then another that uses a chronological sequence to explain the information. And students need to be able to handle those things as they're reading. Most importantly, and for me, I thought that being able to assess text complexity is important because teachers need to be able to differentiate and scaffold text for students. And I really can see how this will help the kiddos that I know because um, I'm able to use my knowledge of them, and I know what they like. I know the topics they enjoy that really get them engaged. I also know um, a little bit about their background knowledge. I can help scaffold them with that. I can scaffold with vocabulary, um, and just to help them become better readers. I think that you need to be able to meet the needs of kids at so many different levels, and understanding how to actually do this using data instead of just, oh, I think is this looks like a good book. You're actually using a rubric, you're using actual data to support what text you've chosen for that student or for that group. Finally, one issue that I really felt like was going to be a problem is the amount of time that it would take to actually sit down with a text and go through, check the rubric, especially as you get with students that are reading more complex texts. This could really be a big time consuming activity. I also thought that possibly you could have teachers, one teacher could look at one text and maybe assess the text one way, and I could assess it another. I feel like that's probably not as big a deal because, qualitative measures are just that. They are subjective to whoever's doing it. But ultimately, I thought this was a great thing to learn about. And that was it for this one.